right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today we are doing a quick-ish intro and preview for SummerSlam before the show starts here in about 30 minutes. Been a busy day, but we wanted to at least get our thoughts and our predictions and whatnot in before we fire into the show. So I will go ahead and pull these up, and we'll just we'll get right into it today. I'm going to read the card, and then we'll just go match by match, and everybody give their thoughts on an exciting event today. Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa in a Bloodline Rules match for the championship. Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk versus Drew with special guest Seth Franklin Rollins. The Women's World Champion Liv Morgan against Rhea Ripley. The WWE Women's Champion Bayley against Nia Jax. Logan Paul against LA Knight for the United States Championship, and the IC Champion Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. So actually, let's start at the bottom with the IC title match. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Fellas, how do we see it going?
I finally see Sami losing it. We've had him as the champion. He's shown that he can be the underdog and still win, but I think it's time for Braun to take it and see where he goes. Because he's ready for a title. They've been pushing him long enough in that spot. I think it's either if they don't give him the title now, no one's ever going to, be excited if they put him in that spot down the line.
Yep, exactly. I feel like it's time to pull the trigger.
Yep.
Yeah, I think basically what he said to Meltzer a few weeks ago confirmed it too for why he didn't win at Money in the Bank. They wanted it on a bigger stage. So with Jay and Sammy pinning the tag champions on Raw, they could be going after that title. And as we get into the main event, you could see them help Cody Rhodes indirectly tonight too.
Yeah. For those who didn't watch Raw last night or SmackDown last night, obviously spoilers, the reign of DIY. We'll do a SmackDown recap when we do our weekly recap. But yeah, Bloodline, obviously the tag team champions now. You'll probably need to know that going into the event. So there you have it. But it looks like we're pretty universally agreed that Sami Zayn may be sailing off into the sunset. What do they do next for Sami? I mean, that frees him up for the Bloodline story, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's why they're going to do it. That was my main reasoning for picking Braun too. Not only because it's his time and they've been pushing this story long enough, but Sami needs to be freed up for when Roman comes over to Raw.
Yep, makes sense. I will see if we can wade into this next one somewhat cautiously. Everybody has their political views and whatnot, and we try to not wade too much into those to, everybody listening. We have different listeners. So Logan Paul is the United States champion. He'll be facing off against LA Knight. So I guess the easiest way to say this is there's some controversy right now around Logan Paul for some remarks he made. You can form your opinion from there about that. But I guess the plainest way to say it is, do you think the controversy is going to affect the outcome of this match?
I literally hope, and not to get into my beliefs or anything, but I literally hope LA Knight stiffs him a few times during the fight, right in the freaking nose. But with a lot of people getting in on Logan, getting back in like his wrestling persona and stuff, a lot of people have been upset with WWE and voicing their opinion that he's only defended the title twice.
Yeah.
I think WWE is ready to take that off of him.
Yeah. And another subject is SummerSlam. Okay, I'm trying to look at the market where SummerSlam is. Do we think it will be a tremendous amount of boos, more so than usual?
I think so. After seeing LA Knight last night, and when they put "yeah" on the banner, I think the feedback from the crowd that they were chanting more for LA Knight. I think that, even in his hometown, Logan's not as well. His hometown adjacent is not gonna give him the reception he wants.
Mike, where do you see it going?
Well, after that whole segment last night, I thought it was a phenomenal segment. And I would like to see him retain and to have him drop the title to him at Bash in Berlin, because I would like to see another month of this feud ongoing between these two guys. But personally, I think they want to get that belt on LA Knight in the United States and on a big stage like this. So I'm going with LA Knight to win, but I would love to see this feud continue for another month, personally, myself. And I think the way WWE views it is they don't view his remarks as like transphobic. This is the way I view them. I think they're just downright stupid remarks. They're just downright false and wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, no matter where you fall in it, yes, the remarks were very ill-informed, I think.
Yes.
And I don't know about WWE. I know, for companies I've worked for in the past, I've had government jobs and I've had, private sector jobs and stuff. But one thing I've noticed the past several years is that they have general social media guidelines. They tell us not to weigh into too many things if our profiles are public and stuff like that. And try, because it might misrepresent the company. It makes me curious if WWE has a policy like that with their stars. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if they do drop the title, if that does come into play, I think it would be more coming down from TKO than it would be from anyone inside WWE.
Would make sense.
Because now that they're a publicly traded company and all that stuff, they have stockholders to answer to, and if his comments make them lose money in any way, they're going to swerve and try to change the narrative.
I think that'd be a smart decision, and it's not unheard of. I mean, we've seen universally this sort of thing happens. If something controversial happens, there's usually a response. So my expectation originally was that LA Knight was probably going to win this match anyway, but I mean, I expect him to win now. So I don't know. We'll see. If he retains, I'll be surprised.
One thing that I've heard thrown around too is possibly Jake Paul getting involved and not having a clean win if they push it to Bash in Berlin. But I just, if it was a United States PLE, I would probably go with Logan Paul, especially where he's lost twice in a row coming into this match. But I just think they want to do LA Knight right by this, seeing he's waited as LA Knight for about a year and a half. But when he was Max Dupree, he wasn't even in the title picture, obviously.
The only thing I'm worried about, and I can see Logan retaining, is I don't see them trying, because we see in storylines all the time, if somebody's going to win the title, they start teasing who their next feud is with, who the next storyline is with. But they haven't done that with like LA Knight, unless he's going to continue feuding with Logan afterwards. But this feud's been going on for a while. So
it is. I mean, from what I recall, I think Logan just signed a new contract recently. So those fireworks are no indication of my thoughts on Logan Paul. FaceTime camera.
I think
I'm not celebrating that.
I think what's going on with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes will be the first challenger to LA Knight once he gets that title, because he is getting it within the next month, I think, no question about it. And I think they're just going to keep going back and forth. I know Andrade's won these first two matches. We'll see how many weeks they drag it out. But whoever comes out on top from this feud, my guess would be LA Knight's first challenger for the title.
And the SmackDown mid-card is great right now. Carmelo, Andrade, great feuds. I could see some great matches with those guys. And LA Knight
last night,
phenomenal.
Yep.
Yes, we'll talk about that on our recap show. But that match last night was great.
So, leading into the next one, the women's champion Bayley versus Nia Jax. I guess who do we see winning, and will there be a cash-in?
I have a few different outcomes on this match in my head.
Okay.
Bayley wins. And her and Nia Jax feud into bad blood. But I don't think Bayley's going to win clean. I think Stratton's going to get involved. I don't think she's going to cash in. But I don't think Tiffy Stratton's going to. Well, if this goes this way, I'm thinking I don't think Tiffy's going to cash in until Survivor Series.
Okay.
Or if Nia Jax wins, we could see Tiffy turn on her, because Tiffy's over with the crowd a little bit. Yeah. So if Nia Jax wins, I could see Tiffy cashing in on Nia Jax.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nia just because I don't think there's really anything left for Bailey to do with the title. And it's funny you talk about the Survivor Series. We had the segment with Tiffany Stratton, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus a month ago, and then we have Survivor Series in British Columbia, and they've been hand in hand. And I think there's a biography coming out about Trish Stratus this Sunday, I believe. So I think that'll be her match for Survivor Series. Those two. And it's just somewhere down the line where Tiffy ends up turning on Nia. But this match could go either way. I think this is a really tough one myself.
I think Nia's going to win, and I think they're going to let her have a run. Maybe not a long run, but I think they'll let her have a run. I'd like to see her worked into the Bloodline storyline somehow. I don't see them doing that, but I don't know. I feel like Nia can have a good run. I mean, she's one of those. She's all right with me. I feel like she gets a little more hate than she deserves a lot of times online. But I like her. I think she could have a good run, a good dominant run. She's more interesting to me than Tamina was. And on the men's side, there's always, the big guys and stuff like that. I like that on the women's side, there's, I don't know how to say this without sounding offensive. I don't want to say big girls, but more athletic women or something like that. That aren't the cookie cutter, regular pretty blonde girls.
Like the Vince divas. They're not the cookie cutter Vince divas.
Yeah, there we go.
Good way.
So I like her for that aspect. Body positivity and stuff. I think that's cool for girls that may look like her. So I would like her to have a little bit of a run just because it's something different for one. But yeah, Tiffy's going to have the belt by the end of the year, like guaranteed.
I just don't like that. Like you pointed out, Nia Jax is the hate she gets online. She's come a long way since before she got released, where she was injuring people, and a lot of people are saying she didn't care in the ring, didn't protect her opponent. She's come a long way, and those people that are giving her the hate for that still need to pay attention and watch her matches and see how far she's come.
Yeah, she's come a long way. Much better. Yep. And the Tiffy case, I didn't get a picture ready for it, but go look on WWE Shop. There's the Tiffy briefcase is not what I hoped it was going to be. I was very disappointed. They really did a letdown on that one.
They mentioned bedazzling it and making it pink, and it's not even bedazzled.
It's so weak.
But it's got a purse strap.
I had such higher hopes for that. I would have bought one, if it was super different, because I mean I collect everything, but it would have been cool to have one just because it's something different. I have little girls, so I'd have been like, here, go play with us, put your dolls in it, something like that.
I wish they still had the metallic on the metal ones.
I know.
All of the ones are plastic.
I didn't know.
Funny. Speaking of the briefcase, real quick, if you ever come up to Boston or anyone listening, never bring your Money in the Bank briefcases to a live event at the Garden.
Yeah.
Really?
You're only allowed, I found out, to bring a women's clutch size purse or a bag. There was 3 or 4 people that took the train into the Garden. One of them had a Money in the Bank briefcase that was signed by 15 wrestlers.
Oh, that's tight.
And they said you can bring it back to your car or you can throw it away. They threw it away because they brought they took the train into Boston and they didn't have a car to bring it back to, so they had to throw the thing away.
Oh man.
That's any event there. You can't bring anything over that size.
But you can bring the belts in, which are the actual metal, and you can knock someone out with it.
Yeah, they just don't want anything concealed in it.
Yeah,
but I didn't know. So when you sent the picture last night in the group chat of that briefcase, I thought it looked really bad. But that's not really a good representation of it, because I wasn't finished watching SmackDown at that point. And then when I saw it, it looked a lot better on TV than in that picture per se that they have on WWEshop.com.
Oh yeah, when they released the renderings or the preliminary promo shots on WWE.com, you can see it with the SmackDown tag titles too. When they showed those on WWE Shop during pre-order, they look nothing like the TV version or the version that actually got shipped out this past week, because people started actually getting their replica tag titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a set myself. I haven't bought the Raw ones yet, but those are next on my list.
Do you buy your tag titles in twos?
No,
Oh, okay. I thought you
No.
said you had a set. I'm like, he buys his tag titles in twos.
Now I do have a set of Copper Penny, but that was because I got a deal on them where there were two together that I bought from another collector who bought them in twos. But previous Raw tag, SmackDown tag in singles. So yeah, that would be a colossal waste of money. But I bet there's people who do that.
Oh yeah, there are. There's some in the collectors groups I'm in on Facebook that have buy their tag titles in twos.
Oh my gosh!
But
So
that's,
coming up
that's
next,
too much money.
I wonder if Def Rebel made that case.
everything they touch turns to shite. So, yeah. So we have the women's world champion Liv Morgan against Rhea Ripley. Storyline wise, I feel like there's going to be more to the outcome of this match than a winner or loser, and where this goes. So what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be another match that doesn't have a clean ending. I think either Dom or Finn's going to get involved with all the things with Finn being, on Liv's side, like undercover on Liv's side, like when she trashed the clubhouse last week and Finn's picture wasn't crossed off or anything.
Yep, graffiti.
Yep. We might see that come into play tonight to lead into, because I want to see the progression of that whole story. I want to see where they're going with it. So
yeah, I don't know. Where I originally hoped this was just the total implosion of the Judgment Day. I mean, I wanted to see Dom with Liv, help her win. Rhea's mad. Somehow Priest and Finn are feuding. I just want a complete implosion. The Judgment Day faction as it is right now, to me, has been surprising it's lasted this long. Like, I don't know. It was very much the Edge thing, and I don't know. It's like a jobber faction at this point. It's not that interesting. It's more like humorous. I don't know. I'm
feel starting to buy into it again, though, because I lost interest in the Judgment Day, but now this whole, their chemistry together. I don't know if you saw when Rhea Ripley and Damian were on stage yesterday, and even Damian was like, yeet. And she was like, when the crowd was chanting yeet, and she was like, oh, he's okay too, and smiled, and they started laughing. I want to see like Finn and Big Head like leave the Judgment Day. They bring in, to piss off Dom, they bring in Jay, and then they feud with Damian and Jay feud with Finn and Big Head.
I don't know if you saw that. I don't think we talked about this yet because it's kind of old news, but it did come up like a week or two ago, and it's kind of silly to me. In this day and age, how superstars are out on social media, so everyone knows what's going on in their personal lives, who's married and single and dating and all that. Obviously, Rhea is married to Buddy Matthews. Okay. Anyways, everyone knows that. Dom is married to someone, so people, some people that watch don't know that. Some people that are super into social media like us, more hardcore fans, they know that stuff. Anyways, Rikishi was weighing in whenever they were doing the Jay and Rhea thing, and he's like, I don't like that. I think that's dumb and all that. And it's like some people can't separate storyline from real life anymore.
Yeah, they're getting involved in disrespecting his marriage. It's like, come on.
Well, Rikishi's other take was that he doesn't like that there hasn't been a belt on Jay yet, and they're not booking his kids right yet. His other son's in the main event of the PLE, second biggest PLE of the year, and fails to acknowledge that. So I'm not really listening to much of what Rikishi's saying these days.
They were both part of the biggest storyline in the last 4 years, and his kids are still part of it. I mean, I'm wondering if we're going to see. Well, we'll get into that. Jimmy coming out tonight, but it's going to be pretty huge.
So, spilling over into CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with special guest referee Seth Franklin Rollins.
Seth Franklin?
Do y'all remember
that? Seth Franklin. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing before we get into that, I just want to say about this Liv Rhea match is don't be surprised if you see Raquel Rodriguez come back tonight and help Liv win that title.
Wonder if Tiffy would cash in on one of them.
Who knows?
I'll save this. Let's see.
The CM Punk Drew McIntyre match, though, that's got me. That's one of those stories in matches that I can't predict.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they're going to go with that as far as who's going to win. Where Seth is, if he's going to remain face and call it down the middle, or if he's going to turn heel and get involved. So,
for those who may not know, because I have to assume that everybody is, some people are new. At one point on the WWE website, they misspelled his name, and then he changed his Twitter name to that and leaned into it, and it's still the funniest thing.
I still love it. Seth Franklin Rollins.
I still say anytime I see him, I'm like, Seth Franklin Rollins. It's still, I still lean into it. It's such a nice moment. But I'm really hoping. Well, one, I'm hoping. I think what I'm most excited about that match is I want to see what his referee gear is going to be.
Oh God! If he wears shoulder pads that are striped, I'm losing my shit and changing the channel.
I want I want something super flashy. I want the heels just because they make fun of it. Like I want the whole shebang. Like I want it to be just gloriously epic.
I don't think he'll wear his like platform shoes or anything because that would be too much for him trying to jump around being a referee. But
yeah. Winner wise, I don't know. I don't see a clear finish. I'm sure there's going to be disqualification. Neither one of them really needs the loss. So, I mean, if anyone eats the pin, I think CM Punk would probably be better to eat a pin than Drew, but I don't see either one eating one.
We know the three of them story's not over. So regardless of who wins, we know it's going to continue.
Yeah.
So the ending doesn't really matter in terms of the long-term storytelling.
But I want it to be good. I want it to spill over to everywhere. I wish this was a no DQ match because I feel like at this point it's earned it. But the fact that there's no stipulations makes me feel that at Bad Blood in Atlanta we'll see some more stipulations for that match, and it'll be a better match.
Yeah.
I just think Drew's going to win because I think he needs a win more than CM Punk. Seeing CM Punk's got over him, three times now it is. So. And then maybe I wonder if Drew will recruit Jack Perry and the Elite to come after CM Punk after the Twitter picture. I can't believe we forgot to talk about that last week.
And then we'll have a Larry interference.
Yeah.
Triple H and WWE came out and said that they're not interested in doing any cross promotion with AEW though.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ever happen. It's about as likely as WWE and WCW collab back in the 90s. It's one of those things that's not going to happen.
I'm still surprised that freaking Drew McIntyre didn't get shit for that picture, though. When I saw it, I was like, oh, hell, is it Photoshopped? And then I looked, and it wasn't.
Reminds me of how big that dude is. When I saw that, I was like, geez, man.
Yep. I would love to see him next to Marco Stunt.
Marco Stunt's like 3 feet tall. Yeah.
Yep. He wrestles on the midget series now.
We had that come through here recently.
It's coming up here again next month.
If you've never seen it before, it's fascinating. You have to at some point if you've never been there. So
he was on Collision like a month ago against Jack Perry.
Yep, they opened up the show.
Yeah.
How tall was Drake Maverick? Was a little fellow, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Rockstar
Spud.
Like
5'4", 5'5".
You were dead on 5'4". Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so next up, World Heavyweight Champion El Campeón Damian Priest versus Daring King Gunther. What's he going by now?
The King General, I believe.
King General, yeah. Does this is this the change? Is it happening, or are we going to Berlin for something different?
Damien's retaining. It's the only way that they keep him looking like a champion and have him progress. If they have him lose it now, he's gonna drop and he's gonna get buried. People are gonna stop caring.
I think personally you're gonna have Gunther win that title, but it's gonna be in Berlin because I don't see why you'd take it off him tonight, because I don't think that we're going to see that big turn in either one of these matches, because you can drag both of those out. You either have Dom accidentally cost Rhea the match, or as I said earlier, have Raquel Rodriguez come back because she's supposed to come back soon and align herself with Liv Morgan and keep dragging the storyline out, because it's probably, other than Punk and Drew, it's the best thing you got going on Raw. So I think in the way Triple H likes to slow burn, we can drag this out more. So I think Priest will retain tonight but lose it at Bash in Berlin.
And Bash in Berlin is in like 27, 28 days. So, I mean, you could easily have a DQ finish or something, and then he's like, I want a rematch. And then he gets it at Bash in Berlin. I mean, it's pretty easy to write that one.
In a street fight, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
or in a beer hall fight.
Yeah.
I think that might be a little too on the nose. I don't think.
Was it a Donnybrook that they call it, I think?
Yeah.
The Donnybrook matches?
Yeah. I had to look that up last time they did it because I was like, what the hell is a Donnybrook? I didn't know what they were talking about. So, I guess we're all same page. Priest walking out champion of this one. Pretty easy. So the main one.
Where Finn could get involved in that match, too, to start the breakup of the Judgment Day.
And as much as I'd like to see Gunther take this belt, because I think he could add a lot of prestige to it, Finn is owed at this point, I feel like, from years back. Like, give him something. Give the man something. His abs are a joy to all of us to look at, so at least let him drape a belt around them.
That dude needs to learn how to fucking share those abs.
Yeah,
that dude's freaking hoarding all the abs for himself. I want a couple.
Yeah, what's the secret? What are you doing, man? There's something going on there.
What pre-workout is he using?
He drinks his Prime.
Oh God.
That's the only reason why I'm here today. I had to mow my lawn this morning at 5 o'clock, and between the Prime Energy and the Prime Hydration is the only reason why I'm on the stream right now. So I will give him some credit there.
Is Prime going to be on the ring mat, I wonder?
It's going to be Prime and sure. Wingstop is on the ring mat tonight.
Really?
Because Prime signed a contract in a partnership with Wingstop for something, for promo stuff. So WWE came out and said that both of them will be on there tonight.
Awesome. Okay. So spilling over, I guess, to the meat before we get into the kickoff show starting here pretty soon. I mean, a lot of ways this could go. Now a Bloodline Rules match, Cody and Solo, the personality of a wet paper bag. Obviously he's not going to lose. I mean, there's no way he lose. I mean, that's 100%. I would love to see what the betting odds for that match, but I don't see him losing.
No, not at all. There's rumors Jimmy got cleared, so rumors he could come back. Roman, Paul Heyman's, they were saying he's going to come back tonight, but then there was speculation that Roman's not going to come back. It's going to be The Rock. So,
oh my God. Okay, the betting odds. Cody is minus 5,000 against Solo's plus 1,200.
Yeah, so if I put $1 on Solo, I win $5,000. That's
no. That'd be beautiful. No, you win $12 if you put $1 on Solo.
There ain't no way. Ain't no way. Let's see what some of these other ones are. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so Liv favored at minus 900 to retain. Nia favored at minus 200 to win. Braun favored at minus 3,000 to Sami Zayn's plus 800.
He ain't losing on
No. CM Punk is favored to win. That's surprising.
Really?
No, Drew is favored. There it is. Drew, but it's close. Drew is minus 175 to Punk plus 135, so it's close. LA Knight is favored at minus 600 against Logan Paul at plus 350. So I would argue that it's going to be pretty predictable.
They need to do prop bets on like who's coming back.
They usually have props on the announce tables breaking and that stuff. I don't know if they'll do it on per se Roman coming back or whoever else.
Oh my God, these are interesting. There's the odds of a nip slip are at plus 500. The odds Cody will bleed are at minus 160. The odds of Cody mentioning Dusty are at plus 500. Jesus.
I don't think any of the females that are in there wear shirts that are low enough to cause a nip slip. So
Tiffy's
wouldn't bet on that one.
I mean, Tiffy's close. I don't know. We'll see.
If she comes out though, she's not booked.
She may not come out in gear, which is why the betting odds are the other way. That would make sense. Yeah. So the Cody and Solo match, I mean, is this when our tribal chief returns to save us?
I think The Rock's coming back tonight. Roman's going to come back Monday.
Okay.
Rock just finished filming his movie, I believe it was, whatever
Yeah.
movie he was doing this past week. But I think we're going to get Roman back tonight, and this is going to be almost identical to WrestleMania 40. Seeing we got Bloodline rules, you're going to have where Cody it doesn't look good. The Bloodline's attacking him. It's 4-on-1. But before we have Roman come out, my guess is we'll get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, and then you'll see Jimmy, Roman, and Paul Heyman come out, and then Cody will get the win. But we could get the revelation of the whole Bloodline tonight, where Sammy and Jay come out instead of Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, and we get that going us into War Games.
See, I was just thinking too. You get either Jay by himself or Jay and Sammy come out to help Cody. But then you get Jimmy to come out afterwards, and him and Jay have that stare down, like, which way are you going with this, Jimmy? And then they both attack Solo to bring them back together to mend that broken relationship that they had before Jimmy left.
Tala Tonga will debut tonight on Solo's side, too. I forgot to mention that.
Because he is taller than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yes, this was actually posted today, but Jimmy Uso has been medically cleared to return.
Oh, yeah, I thought they posted that July 12th. It was posted by, I forgot the Twitter account.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he was going to come out last night and save DIY.
Mm-hmm.
Sportskeeda reported it 3 days ago. Sporting News reported it July 12th.
That's what it was, Sporting News. Yep.
Okay, so I guess the more recent ones are on the other websites, but
good.
Obviously,
I'm glad they're. Yeah, because after the 12th, he didn't come out, and everyone was like, "Okay, that they were bullshit." And then now that a lot of other sites are speculating it and reporting on it,
so it looks like we're good. We're good to go. Get the brothers back together. You know, obviously, Jay isn't going to get a main event push. That's fine. Put the brothers back together. Put the gold on them. Bring back the tribal chief. Bring in Sami Zayn. Feud against the fake bloodline. Everybody wins. Profit.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a stare down too, where Roman will spear Solo to cost him the match, but he'll still give Cody that look like he hates him, but just walk away possibly.
Possibly, yeah. They get that stare down, and Roman, instead of attacking him, just turns and walks away.
Well, also remember Hikuleo's been signed too, so it would be a good opportunity for him to debut, because as we've seen, they tend to like new members showing up at big events. So,
yeah, Hikuleo is Tala Tonga now.
So, I mean,
or Caesar Sikoa. We don't know which one they're going to use.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the Sikoa would be fine, because we got too many Tongas running around. People are going to start getting confused.
I'm highly interested on how they're going to end this tonight.
Yeah.
Because I'm at the point, and I think a lot of fans are, if we don't see Roman or The Rock or something tonight, a lot of people are just going to, just like what we were about to do with the Wyatt Six, we're about to give up on this storyline. Yep. We don't want to see the Temu bloodline just sit there and run with SmackDown anymore.
Temu bloodline. The Alibaba bloodline.
AliExpress, let's go.
The Wish bloodline.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it you'll know more where the match is positioned on the card. I feel like if it's the main event, it's going to be something bigger.
I think it will be the main event, because since they changed it to a bloodline rules, if they kept it just a regular match, I would have wondered where they were going to go with the main event. But since it's a bloodline rules now, it's got to be the main event.
And for those who may not know, that's a no DQ match.
Yep, anything goes.
Yep.
No DQs,
which is fine.
One thing I don't understand with WWE is they don't like the online narrative that Cody has not lived up to his championship run. It's not that good, but yet you can't give them a clean win. Like, I understand why you're doing this to set up the good moment, but he needs a clean win right now. He's getting beat down every week, just like he was going into WrestleMania. And even there, he didn't get a clean win. Like, this guy needs one. He hasn't got one since Clash at the Castle. He needs one more than anyone right now, and I don't know why they're doing that. I understand. Well, I shouldn't say that. I understand why they're doing it, but I just don't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah,
I think he'll get a clean win at Bash in Berlin. They'll probably put him up against Hikuleo or Tala Tonga. or however they're going with that. I think that's probably going to be his next match, since Bash Berlin, yeah, it's a PLE, but it's not one of the big ones. So they just need to throw Cody in there in a match. So,
are they going to free blood the Bloodline tag titles? I wonder.
They're going to do what?
Are they going to do the freebird rule for the Bloodline titles? Because there's 3 of them.
I don't know.
I just thought about that.
Well, they kind of did. They kind of teased at that during the that one match when they were talking to the GM, saying, you know, Tonga couldn't wrestle because of his eye. That they said the Bloodline. They didn't say specifically. So they were like, Jacob's gonna stand in for him.
He looks like the wise man, though, now for them. After the Gooch punch, I don't think he's recovered from that yet.
You punch a man in the taint, he's going to go down. Like, he just needs to practice his accuracy.
He punched him in the taint and then punched his own brother in the head.
There's no coming back from that. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
When I saw it, I literally didn't even have to rewind it. I was like, he just punched that dude in the fucking face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What side is he on?
I mean, of all of them, I mean, Jacob's obviously the one I want to see more out of, but I've been watching him since he was in the Indies. So, I mean, the other one's not so. I mean, the Gorillas of Destiny, cool. Solo, don't really care much about, but Jacob, I really want to see him better positioned. That's anything comes out of all of this. That's the one thing I want. That's a future champ right there. That's a guy you can have some fun with.
Yeah,
he's already got the tag title on him, and he's only been on the show for a month and a half now, I believe, something like that.
Barely that long. I mean, he got gold before Solo did.
He's probably the only one in this budget Bloodline that I see after the story's over, actually WWE doing something with him.
Yeah.
Because the Tongas, they're good, and they'll probably be good in like the tag division, but I don't see them doing much after. Yeah.
Yep.
Solo, he's going to go back down to NXT.
Yeah.
So
hopefully find a personality there. Maybe someone can work with him on that.
It's funny because if you watch his old stuff, like old promos in NXT, he wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But I think you put him in front of more than 12 people and he gets nervous.
It's like replacing, Prime Rib with Weird Brother of Prime Rib. It'd be like if, say it's back in the 90s and you've got the Nation of Domination. So obviously Rock is going to become a top guy. So say Rock becomes a top guy, the Nation stays together and they do this thing for a while. It'd be like all of a sudden taking the Rock away when he was as over as he was and saying, okay, now D'Lo Brown is the face of the company.
I was going to say Ahmed Johnson, but
or Ahmed Johnson, yeah. It's the same thing. D'Lo, I like a lot. No, don't disrespect to D'Lo. He's a cool guy. Yeah, Ahmed Johnson.
D'Lo was hilarious. He had a broken neck once in a while, but he was still hilarious.
Brother Man's head was about to roll off his neck.
Hell yeah, it was. I'm surprised he didn't freaking get whiplash.
That was my favorite part of the wrestling games back then, was seeing how they were going to master D'Lo Brown's head roll in all its pixelated glory, and they sure did.
They need to remaster Here Comes the Pain.
No mercy, but close. So, I guess time to head out and watch the kickoff show, which looks like it's going to run for 3 hours?
Yeah, pretty much.
On Peacock, it says this is an 8-hour event, which is surely that's not. I don't know.
Do what now?
Papa H has been running his events a little tight, but yeah, on Peacock it says it's an 8-hour event.
Well, they include the pre and the press conference in that time too.
Oh,
okay.
I wonder if they're going to do the press conference like they did Money in the Bank, because that was actually pretty good. You have somebody up there answer questions and then go back to the announcers and them talking about stuff, then going back to the press conference. That was a good format.
Yeah, this says the main show starts at 7. So,
Yep.
Wow. Okay, it's gonna be a long one. All right, cool. Well, let's go enjoy a good event, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Everybody for joining us today, and all the listeners on our audio recap. Just go strap yourselves in. We got 8 hours of glorious sports entertainment to watch, and hopefully it turns out well for everybody as our predictions, according to the betting markets, are most predictable. So that's going to be all for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us this afternoon, and we'll be back within the next couple days to do our recap show, and then we'll run Raw all the way through minor shows, NXT, SmackDown, into SummerSlam, and go enjoy the party of the summer. SummerSlam live from Cleveland on Peacock in the U.S., WWE Network for the rest of the world, and that's all for us. Have fun.